والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. We always begin everything with Bismillah, in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the story I'm going to tell you tonight, inshallah, it is not something that I'm making up. It is actually mentioned in the Quran and in the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in multiple places. And the story is after a name or named after Ashura. And Ashura, by the way, is going to be on Monday, inshallah, which is the 10th of Al-Muharram. And if you're able to fast, the 10th of Al-Muharram is highly recommended, which is going to be on Monday, inshallah. And we're going to have iftar and dinner here for you. And we're going to have a program also in the evening. And inshallah, you can have a good time, can have fun too, inshallah, bi'idhnillah. Ashura means the 10th of Al-Muharram. It's derived from the number 10 in Arabic. The number 10 in Arabic is called the Ashara. So Ashura. Ashura. So something very interesting happened on that day. Basically, justice was served for the Muslims. You know, there were Muslims before us, and they were mistreated so bad. They were abused. Like, you know, in some places in earth now, like Muslims, but they were patient. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved them on this day. But the Muslims were living in a country known by Egypt now. Anyone knows where Egypt is? Where Egypt is? In Africa, North Africa. And it's the only country that has two continents. It's actually Asia and Africa, because Sinai is part of Asia. So the Muslims were living there. And the king of Egypt at the time, whose name was, or whose title was the Pharaoh. And if you read the Quran, you find Allah talking a lot about the Pharaoh. Allah doesn't like him. Allah resented him. The angels resented him. Everyone hated him because he was arrogant. Arrogance is bad. Because he didn't believe in Allah. He actually called people to worship him. He said to them, I am Allah. I am your Lord. So the Pharaoh, one night he was asleep and he saw this nightmare. A real bad dream. Nightmare is a bad dream. A dream that can scare you off. He saw a fire coming from Jerusalem. You know, Jerusalem is a country, is a place where we have a masjid, the Masjid al-Aqsa. And this fire burned the houses of the Egyptians. All the Egyptians. And it did not burn one single house of the Muslims. So he woke up very disturbed. He said, maybe it's a nightmare, just forget it, you know, move on. Don't bother. The following night, he went to sleep. He sees the same dream again. He saw the same dream again. A huge fire came from the east, came from Jerusalem. And it burned all the houses of the Egyptians who were not Muslims. and it did not burn one single house of the Muslims. He said, I gotta do something about this. I'm disturbed. So he called upon the people who would consult and ask their opinion. And he said to them, listen, I've been seeing this nightmare. Every night a fire is burning Egypt. And somehow these Muslims were using as slaves. They are saved from this fire. What is wrong with this? So one of his assistants said to him, listen, the Muslims are talking about the birth of a boy. If this boy is to be born, he's gonna grow up and he's gonna destroy you. What should we do then? Is that serious? They believe in it? They believe in that. They say it's written in their book. Allah revealed it in the book. You see, everything that Allah reveals in the Quran, we believe it because Allah said it. And when Allah says something, we believe it. What should we do then? What should we do? Let's kill all the newborn boys. Let's slaughter them. I told you the story is a little bit scary. So they would. I'm scared myself. I'm scared. So they would mark the house where there is a pregnant woman, and they would know when she will deliver, and when she is delivering, there are cops, helpers of the Pharaoh, of this bad man, standing by the house. As soon as they hear the baby saying quack, 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 they go and check him out. Is he a boy? Yes. They would slay him with a knife. That is sad. Allah mentioned this in the Quran in multiple places. إن فرعون علا في الأرض وجعل أهلها شيعا. Indeed, the Pharaoh was a tyrant, was an arrogant man in earth, and he turned the people into slaves. يستضعف طائفة منهم يذبح أبناءهم ويستحيي نساءهم. He would use the Muslims as slaves. Not only this, he would slay the newborn boys because he's afraid that one of them is going to grow up to take over what he owns. Imagine this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to the mother of this boy. Do you know the name of this boy? Musa alayhi salam. Allah revealed to his mother. Look what Allah said in the Quran. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمِّ مُوسَىٰ أَنْ أَرْضِعِيهِ. We revealed to the mother of Musa to feed him, to breastfeed him. As soon as you deliver him, breastfeed him and prepare a basket. Immediately place him into that basket, cover that basket with a piece of cloth, and throw that basket in the Nile. So when they come to arrest the boy, the baby boy, they will not find anybody there. Imagine she did this. So she delivered, immediately she breastfed him, and she was preparing a basket. She placed the baby boy inside the basket, and she was tying this basket into a rope. And she let the basket float in the Nile. Imagine this. So when the policeman knock, where's the baby? Where is the I don't know, there was nobody. I don't know. They found nobody. Not only this, the mother said to her daughter, watch that basket, follow it. Walk along the Nile and watch the basket. Look where the basket went to. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took the basket to the house of the Pharaoh, to the house of the bad man. Imagine this. Just to show you that Allah, when He wants something to happen, Allah is in control of everybody. Allah is in control of everyone. Who was sitting by the Nile? The Nile is a river in Egypt. Who was sitting by the Nile? Who was sitting by the Nile? The wife of the Pharaoh. She was sitting by the Nile having a good time, and she saw the basket floating in the river, in the Nile. Bring me that basket. She didn't know who's there. She removed the piece of cloth. She looked at the baby boy called Musa alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made her fall in love with him. As soon as she saw the baby, she loved the baby boy. وَأَلْقَيْتُ عَلَيْكَ مَحَبَّةً مِّنِّي. وَقَالَتِ امْرَأَةُ فِرْعَوْنَ, the wife of the Pharaoh, because the policeman now arrived. Let us have that baby boy. This is the baby boy the mother got rid of. She said, no one is going to kill him. I love this baby boy. I'm going to keep him for me. I'm going to keep him. See, Allah wanted to protect him. The wife of the Pharaoh went to the Pharaoh and she said, no one is going to come near that baby boy. لا تقتلوه. Kill him not. عسى أن ينفعنا أو نتخذه ولدا. I'm going to take him as my own son. I'm going to take care of him. Allah made her do this. The Pharaoh obeyed his wife, which is smart, always. Imagine this. العيال اللي واقفة بره دي بقى. في عيال واقفة بره. So the baby stayed with the wife of the Pharaoh. Now the baby was so hungry, he has not eaten since he was born, except one time. He's crying, quack, 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 hungry. So they would bring to him ladies to breastfeed him. He would refuse their milk. Because remember, Allah said to the mother what? Feed him so he gets used to your own milk. He will not accept anyone else's milk, because I want to unite you again. I want to put you together again. This is a promise Allah made to the mother. So the baby is crying and crying, quack, quack. He's about to die from hunger, and there is no one who can feed him.
Remember, the sister was following the basket. So the sister went to the wife of the Pharaoh and she said, I know someone who can really feed that baby boy because he's gonna die from hunger. So she went and she called her mom. Her mom came, and as soon as he tasted her milk, he started eating and drinking. So the wife of the Pharaoh said to the mother, I'm gonna pay you to feed him. Imagine this. I'm gonna give you money to feed that baby boy for me. Of course, she didn't know that this is the mother. You see the promise of Allah? And because she was a patient mother, the Pharaoh still angry. Yes, he obeyed his wife, but he's still really angry and upset. What if this is the boy who's going to destroy me? What if this is the boy who's going to destroy me? He wanted to kill him so bad. But yet, the wife said, you're not going to touch him. Musa alayhi salam, grown up in the house of the Pharaoh, and he knew that he's a Muslim. He discovered that the lady who was feeding him is his mom. And they are Muslims. And the Pharaoh are not Muslims. They are not Muslims. So he kept going between the Pharaoh's house and his mother's house, learning both. So one day he was walking down in Egypt and he found a Muslim being beaten up by a non-Muslim. There is a fight. So the Muslim called upon Musa, help me, help me. Come here away from the girls, please. Come here. You're a man, right? We're sitting next to the girls. Come here. So he wanted to help the Muslim and he wanted to break the fight. You know, he didn't want the fight. We shouldn't be looking for fights, you know. Muslims should not be looking for fights. Muslims should be peaceful. So he went and he wanted to separate the two from one another. So he pushed the non-Muslim down. Subhanallah, the non-Muslim falling down dead. He didn't mean to kill him. He just pushed him like this. He went down dying. So the word got in town now that Musa killed an Egyptian. The Pharaoh said, this is my chance to kill him. Finally, I got the chance to kill this boy. I believe this is the boy who's going to destroy me. And he said, okay, arrest him. There was a Muslim in the palace of the Pharaoh who heard what the Pharaoh said. He ran away to Musa and he said to him, run away, get out of Egypt. They're going to arrest you and they're going to kill you. Musa immediately ran away. He started running away from Egypt. He traveled to a place called Madyan, which is like Jordan now. He walked for days and days without food, without water. And when he arrived there in Madyan, he wanted to drink. So he found people watering their flocks. Then he saw that there are two girls standing by the side there. So he went and he asked them, how come you're not watering your animals? They said to him, listen, we don't want to mix with these men. We're going to wait until they are done and we're going to go and water our flocks, our animals. And the reason why we're out to begin with, our father is an old man and we're trying to help him out. Prophet Musa, he had courage. He right away took the animals of the two girls and he said to these men, please, guys, we shouldn't have girls standing like this waiting for you guys. Why don't they water their flocks so they can go home? So he watered the flocks for them and he sent them home. You know, he was homeless. He had no home. He was hungry. Yes, alhamdulillah, he had some water now. So he went under the shade of a tree and he made this dua. Oh Allah, in spite of your blessing, in spite of what you have given me, I am poor. فسقى لهما ثم تولى إلى الظل فقال رب إني لما أنزلت إلي من خير فقير. So the two girls went home and they were so excited about Musa. This man is different than the men we have here. This guy is really nice. So they went and told their father. You see, girls can talk to their fathers. You can tell your father things, you know. You shouldn't hide away things from your fathers. So they went, oh, Daddy, we met this young man out there. He was really cool and nice. He helped us actually water the animals and he sent us home early and he was really nice guy. So the father was smart. He said to them, why don't one of you go and invite him? I really want to reward him for what he has done for you. So one of the daughters went back to Musa. Immediately, as soon as Musa made this dua, oh Allah, give me, I'm poor. As soon as he made this dua, one of the daughters came to invite him. My father would like to invite you to our house to reward you for what you have done for us. So he went home, and Musa alayhi salam, by the way, until now, he doesn't know that he is the boy. He doesn't know that he's a prophet. He doesn't know that. Until now, he doesn't know. He's not a prophet yet. He's not a messenger yet. He's just a regular man here, so far. So he went and he spent the time with the father. The father really liked him a lot, a lot. And Musa told him what happened in Egypt, that I'm running away from Egypt because they are trying to arrest me and kill me because I was trying to break a fight and accidentally somebody died. He said, listen, don't worry. The Pharaoh has no influence here. We're independent. You're free. Why don't you stay with us a couple of days? Look at the father. He was smart. He felt that one of his daughters is interested. So he went and he said to him, listen, you could marry one of my daughters, but with one condition. You're not going to take her for free. You know, in Islam, Islam is a beautiful religion, girls. Islam protects your rights. You know, for a girl to get married in Islam, the husband must give a gift called a dowry. You know how much Musa given as a dowry for his wife? How much? 10 years labor working for the father. He spent 10 years shepherding for the father. So after he finished the 10 years, by this time he had some kids, some children. He came to his father-in-law and he said to him, Father-in-law, I really miss my mom in Egypt and miss my family and miss the Muslims there. Can I please go back with my family to Egypt? So he started traveling back to Egypt. In the way back, he got lost in the desert. And his family were very cold. It was raining. And it was dark at night. And they were very cold. From a distance, he saw a light. He saw a fire. So he said to his family, why didn't you stay here? I'm going to go check this fire out. Maybe I will find someone who can guide us back to Egypt, tell us the way back to Egypt, or at least bring you some fire so you can get some warm, get somewhat warm. Yeah. When he walked toward the fire, guys, guess who called upon him? Allah. Allah called upon him. Look how the Quran expressed this. وَهَلْ أَتَاكَ حَدِيثُ مُوسَى إِذْ نَادَاهُ رَبُّهُ بِالْوَادِ الْمُقَدَّسِ طُوًى إِذْ رَأَى نَارًا فَقَالَ لِأَهْلِهِ امْكُثُوا إِنِّي آنَسْتُ نَارًا. Did you hear about the story of Musa when he saw a fire in the desert in Sinai and he said to his family, stay here, I'm going to go and bring you some fire so you can get warm? فَلَمَّا أَتَاهَا نُودِيَ يَا مُوسَى. When he reached the fire, يَا مُوسَى إِنَّنِي أَنَا رَبُّكَ فَاخْلَعْ نَعْلَيْكَ. I am your Lord, take off your shoes. إِنَّكَ بِالْوَادِ الْمُقَدَّسِ طُوًى. This place is sacred. وَأَنَا اخْتَرْتُكَ فَاسْتَمِعْ لِمَا يُوحَى. And I have chosen you. إِنَّنِي أَنَا اللَّهُ. I am Allah, your Lord. And now, Musa, I want you to go back to the Pharaoh, to this bad man. Tell him to free the Muslims. Tell him that I need to take the Muslims out of Egypt. Musa immediately said, oh Allah, this man is really bad and he may kill me. He said, Musa, don't be afraid. I will protect you. Musa said, can I take my brother? I have a brother called Harun, who's a prophet too. Can I take him with me to help me? Yes, go ahead and take him. Musa alayhi salam and Harun went to the Pharaoh in the palace. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed Prophet Musa a couple of things that he could do. One of them, that he had a stick in his hand. Allah said to Musa, cast that stick, throw it in the ground. It turned into a huge snake. So when Musa went to the Pharaoh, he said to him, Pharaoh, I'm going to talk to you really nice, but please send the Muslims with me. He said, no. He said, I'm telling you, if you do not send the Muslims with me, you're going to be in trouble. He said, no, I'm not. Show me something. So Prophet Musa alayhi salam threw the stick. He had a stick in his hand. It turned into a snake. So that's sorcery. You know what? Let's have a contest. You come and compete with my sorcerers. If you win, I'm going to send the Muslims with you. If you lose, I'm going to kill you and your brother. Musa said, that's fine. The Pharaoh went and he gathered 70,000 sorcerers to compete with Musa. So here is Musa and Harun, against 70,000 sorcerers. And the Pharaoh promised the sorcerer, if you defeat Musa, I'm going to give you a lot of money. I'm going to give you a lot of money. I'm going to give you a lot of gold and silver, and you will be brought near to me. So they went to Musa and they said to him, would you like to throw or should we throw first? Musa said, no, you go ahead. So they threw the sticks and the ropes. It turned into snakes. Musa became afraid. Ah, this is a lot. Imagine 70,000 snakes. 70,000. فأوجس في نفسه خيفة موسى. He became very afraid. Allah said to him, لا تخف. Do not be afraid. إنك أنت الأعلى. You will defeat them. وألق ما في يمينك. Cast your stick. Prophet Musa threw the stick. Imagine the stick of Musa alayhi salam turned into a real snake which ate all the snakes of the sorcerers. Imagine this. All the snakes. When the sorcerers saw this, they said that's not sorcery. Guess what they did? They went down in prostration. They prostrated and they said, Pharaoh, we're no longer believe in you to be the God. We're going to worship the God of Musa and Harun. فألقي السحرة ساجدين قالوا آمنا برب العالمين رب موسى وهارون. The Pharaoh said, are you going to believe in Musa? I'm going to cut your hands and feet, and I'm going to tie you. I'm going to chastise you. They said, we don't care. We believe in Allah and we want to go to Jannah. So Musa said to the Pharaoh, remember your promise? I won. Are you going to let the Muslims go with me? He said, no, I'm not. He broke his promise. Bad people break their promises. So Allah started punishing him. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Musa, O Musa, while the Pharaoh is asleep at night, tell the Muslims to get ready. And at midnight, when everyone is asleep, just leave Egypt. وأوحينا إلى موسى أن أسر بعبادي ليلا, night. So the Muslims woke up, they packed their stuff at night and they got ready, and then at midnight they had a sign, okay, let's go, and they started traveling out of Egypt. The Pharaoh woke up in the morning, where is everybody? They ran away. They ran away. They escaped. They left Egypt. He prepared an army, Ibn Kathir said, of 2 million. Imagine this. Bani Israel at the time, by the way, for the grown-ups here, they were only 600,000. Children and boys and girls. He prepared an army of 2 million. And he followed Musa and the Muslims. The Muslims, by this time, they reached a sea in Egypt, east of Egypt, called the Red Sea. So in front of them is the sea, and they looked behind and they saw this huge 2 million army. So they looked at Musa and they said, Inna lamudrakun. What are we going to do? In front of us is the sea. And this huge army, they're going to kill us. What are we going to do? They started yelling at Musa, you got us in trouble. You're the one who got us here. What are we going to do? Look at the confidence. Allah promised Musa alayhi salam that I will take care of you. Musa immediately looked at them and he addressed all of them and he said, Inna ma'i ya Rabbi sayahdeen. Allah is with us and He will guide us to what to do. Allah revealed to Prophet Musa, spoke to Prophet Musa, and He said to him, with your stick, strike the sea. Imagine this. The water will stop flowing, or what is it, the word here? The water will split into 2 halves. The sea will split into 2 halves. Imagine this. The water's a bridge. Do you know what a bridge is?
a bridge in the sea. Subhanallah. So Musa and the Muslims started crossing the sea. When all of them finished crossing, and this happened by the way on the 10th of Al-Muharram on Ashura. This happened on Ashura. So the Pharaoh thought that he could cross too with his army. So the Muslims crossed, they cleared the sea. The Pharaoh thought that he could cross too. So he started going into the sea with his army. While all of them are inside the sea, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the sea, now run. And he drowned. And his army. Allah saved the Muslims. And Allah destroyed the disbelievers, the people who were bad. By the way, the Pharaoh wanted to become a Muslim. But you know, when you die, when you're about to die, you cannot. As long as you're alive, you can become a Muslim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not accept it from him. The Pharaoh drowned. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved the Muslims and Musa from the Pharaoh, the bad man, and his army. And this happened on this day, the day of Ashura. So they crossed and they went to a desert called Sinai, and they spent some time there, inshallah. The story ends here. Now, I have these twins or twigs? Twins? Twigs. I'm going to ask questions, and I want to see who's going to answer, so we're going to give you twigs. Okay. The first question that I want to ask you, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us something, should we doubt it? Allah told the mother of Musa something. What was it? And she never doubted it. Allah told Musa something and he never doubted it. So I need to hear those two things. Okay, we'll take a brother and a sister. Yes. Tell me what Allah said to the mother of Musa. Jazakallahu khaira. Imagine a mother, look at this now, a mother who will throw her baby into the fire, into the river. Her baby could die, but who told her that? She believed Allah. I always like to use this example and say, these are the mothers who send their children to Islamic schools at this time. Wallahi. Wallahi, these are the mothers. Because they are going against the current. Everyone else is telling, no, send your child to that school so they can become doctors. Listen, you can go to Islamic schools and become doctors too, if Allah wills. But these are the mothers who believe, my children gotta learn Islam. Because their Jannah is more important than this world. This world can end at any second. So this is a good job. Okay, who's going to tell me what Allah said to Musa and Musa never doubted it? Who? Okay, Maryam. Don't look at the girls, man. Look at me. All right. Okay. Sarah? The Pharaoh? And he believed, and he did it. He trusted that. That's a good job. That goes to Sarah. Sorry. Okay. One more thing. One more thing here.
one, one more thing here. One more thing here. Girls should talk to their parents about what happened. Tell me something that happened in that story. You know, girls should always talk to their parents about what happened out there. They shouldn't hide anything away from the parents. Who's going to tell me the scene in the story? That's very important. Because hiding away things from the parents, because some of you may assume that it's okay, your parents know better. You should tell them everything, like in school, you should tell them everything that happened in school. Somebody said something to you that you don't understand, you should say this to the parents. Who's going to tell me what happened in the story? Oh, Iman, you're here. Go ahead. Hey, eyes on me, man. All right, go ahead, Iman. Yeah, but then what happened? You see, these girls met some strange man out there. What did they do when they went back home? They talked to the father. They said, Father, there was this man. Let me ask you, do you tell your mother everything that happened in the outside? You're going to start doing that. Here you go. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. You know what? We're going to line up so we give everybody a piece of candy because I have to go to Masjid al-Nur. I'm supposed to have a speech there. So we're going to have the boys line up here and the girls line up here. Hey. And Sheikh Muhammad and Abdul Karim, please. ساعدنا الله يبارك لكم. وزعوا عليهم. إن شاء الله. وزعوا عليهم الله يخليك. يلا. أنا هحرق النور بقى. أنا عارف. السلام. Yeah, I have to go to Masjid al-Nur. Yeah. السلام. Hey guys, go out there.
Oh